about next feedbacks, giving feedbacks. Would you say if when you are listening, we try to listen actively, right? And when you are talking, you are able to articulate your opinions. It's also possible that people speak and they want you to give your feedbacks. And very often, when we work in a company, in a workplace, no matter you are executive managers or employees, we are requested to give our feedbacks. When giving feedbacks, especially in cross-cultural communication, let's pay attention to there are 3 different kinds of feedbacks. The first kind of feedback is positive feedback. Okay, positive feedback means supportive verbal or non-verbal responses. Okay, for leaders, for managers, sometimes giving positive feedback can be a very powerful leadership tool. So what is some positive feedback? For example, you see your coworker, you see your colleague doing something right. You will say, hey, good job, right? Or you will say something, well done. Your presentation was great. Your presentation was informative. I learned something very useful from your presentation. So all these feedbacks are positive feedbacks. You encourage your coworkers, you encourage your colleagues to do things better and better. Okay, so this kind of feedbacks are not bad, especially in cross-cultural communication. And another kind of feedback is what we call constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is a response that supports exploration of new methods, actions, and behaviors. So for example, after seeing a presentation, and then you would like to give some suggestions to your colleague to help your colleague to make the presentation even better. So you will say something like, your presentation was pretty good. If there could be a little bit more research data in session 2, wow, the presentation will be perfect. So you will say something like that, you encourage people on the one hand, but you also give advice or suggestion to help people to do even better, to get a better result. So here is the way that we explore new methods, new actions, or better behaviors to achieve better results together. So this is constructive feedback. So this kind of feedback is also very useful in the global workplace. Okay, the third kind of feedback is criticism. Criticism is often considered as negative feedback. And when you want to use criticism, be careful about it when you use it. So criticism is very judgmental, like, oh, the presentation was disaster. Oh, your presentation was awful. Oh, you're not reliable. This is criticism. This kind of criticism very often cause hard feelings. And the criticism cannot help people to improve themselves at all. So when you want to use criticism, be careful, okay? And in cross-cultural communication process, of course, we encourage you to use positive feedback or constructive feedback. Now, after having dialogues with other people, or after this intercultural encounter, let's do this reflection. What is a reflection? It means that after your encounter, your intercultural encounter, you slow down your thinking process while communicating. When you are communicating, you slow down your thinking process. So if you can, you think and then reflect at the same time when you communicate. But if you cannot do that, it's okay. You can do reflection after your communication process. Pay attention to several things. For example, be aware of other speakers' reactions, emotions, and assumptions while communicating. So you have to think, when I'm talking to this person, and you pay attention to the other speaker's reaction or response, or how they feel, their emotions, and their assumptions. What are their values behind their judgment or decisions? So these things are very important because these are the cues, these are the hints for you to communicate with them further. Reflect on the communication process later and prepare for next encounter. So when you collect all the ideas and you recall all the details which happened in the communication process, then you can begin to prepare yourself for next encounter. So next time when you talk to the same person, next time when you meet the same person from this culture or meet the different person from the same culture, you will know how to adapt your behavior, your verbal behavior and your nonverbal behavior, so that you can make the other person feel better, so that you can ensure the successful communication between you two. And again, have a good manners. Have a good manners. Manners can help you a lot. Manners can help people to understand your sincerity. Okay? Alright, so this is a very quick review on effective communication skills. These are the skills which can be very helpful to help you to communicate cross-culturally in a successful manner, including the active listening, inquiry skill, using open-ended question. Advocacy means that you articulate your opinions and also you are open-minded to responses you receive, and you invite other people's point of view and you try to learn from them as well. And giving feedbacks, when you give feedbacks, we consider positive and constructive feedbacks, and when you want to criticize people, you want to be careful about that. And reflection, reflect what happened and prepare yourself. How can you adapt and how you can do better in next intercultural encounter. Okay, so finally, let's look at this. Making a plan for you to improve intercultural communication competence. Okay, so again, now let's look at this one. The first one is intercultural attitude. So you can ask yourself, how should I think, understand, and respect others and other people's perspectives? So how can we do this? How can I do this to improve and to make my intercultural attitudes better? And this one is, how can I enrich my intercultural knowledge? Make a plan, okay? Make a plan to make yourself better. Make a plan. So here we are talking about a plan. So you can ask yourself, what can I study and read to increase my cultural knowledge? And how should I travel and have dialogues with others? So you can write down your ideas, write down your solutions to these questions. So then this will become your plan to improve your intercultural communication competence. And intercultural communication skills. So you can ask yourself, how can I learn more languages, foreign languages? And how can I apply the effective communication skills? But first, you have to list what are those effective communication skills, right? And think about, oh, okay, how can I apply them in what kind of situation? And then finally, critical cultural awareness. You need to ask yourself, am I culturally sensitive, reflective, and self-examining enough? And do I do that all the time? So this is very important. You give the answers to your own questions, and all these answers will become your plan, which can help you improve your intercultural communication competence. Okay, this is the conclusion of this session. Do you remember the 4 components of ICC? We have been repeating all these 4 components of intercultural communication competence all the time throughout these 2 lessons. They are intercultural attitude, knowledge, intercultural communication skills, and awareness. I hope you can remember them and help yourself to improve at these 4 aspects, so that your intercultural communication competence will be higher and higher, better and better. Increasing cultural knowledge is important, okay? However, we need to recognize that our cultural knowledge is initial understanding, and it should grow as any intercultural communication proceeds. So it means that this kind of learning actually has no end. So every time when you have encounter, you have interaction with a person from another culture, you should keep your mind open and learn from every encounter, every intercultural experience. Okay. So that is, we should not allow any prior cultural knowledge to become stereotype or even prejudice, preventing us from getting to know our culture further. So it means that before you meet a person from another culture, try not to hold any bias or prejudice. Be open-minded. Okay, learning this person, like reading a new book and learning from this person, just like reading and gaining knowledge from a new book. Okay, so the key to enjoy successful communication covers holding correct attitude to see other cultures, applying effective communication skills, reflecting and being aware of what is happening in the communication process at all times, and adapting and adjusting our behaviors in due time. So next encounter, or even the encounter on the spot, will be good and successful. Okay, so these are the checkpoints, and you can find the checkpoints and the answers in our lecture file. And I hope you will enjoy our study here. These are the references and the further reading. If you are interested, you can consult all these books or articles. This is the end of the session, and I will see you next time.